Monty, if you know by that name. And we want to go for Ents because we feel like we could develop the things already there, but also expand a lot already that there isn't. For instance, there's quite a few nighttime events here at the moment. We have box, we have selling sessions, but we feel we could definitely expand them, especially daytime events. We'll talk about a bit more in a sec.
Yeah, so our first kind of step that we take is to get more interaction with the whole of Selwyn and find out what people want from events. So we'd like to kind of make an Ents team where whoever's really interested in helping with events kind of get with us and help us organise box, come up with ideas that they have. Or just like, we need our people's input because two people can't come as everyone's opinion of what they want to be spending their time doing within Selwyn. So it's great to have a large group of people inputting ideas. We'd also do a survey, which I think happened last year, to possibly make that more kind of, so more people fill it out, kind of advertise it a bit more, just to get some more opinions. We think from the survey actually, we're reckoning more people will ask for kind of more box, which we know is an issue because of noise complaints and stuff, so we're considering a silent disco. I have kind of got contact with a silent disco company from Snowball already, and we've kind of thought about the logistics of it, and we think it could work out, so...
We're Thomas and Mandic, so we should be able to do the numbers.
Yeah.
So should. For the daytime things, we're thinking we have a table tennis and a pool table, so we really think we could use them more for tournaments, things. We get a lot of people into your interaction. Because everyone loves playing, they come down all the time to play it with their friends. But playing against different people, that'd be quite interesting. It's a good way to integrate the different years. And we also thought about having, we have a case which is almost a cinema effectively. And we can have things like different film nights, horror films, comedy films, Lord of the Rings, obviously. And lots of people come down and meet nights. It's just a good way to congregate. People don't want to go out every night, and that's a nice way you can still socialise and stay and see other people. And we also thought about the selling sessions, and we know a lot of people come around and watch selling sessions, but it tends to be a lot of similar people do it every time. So we thought if we could get some kind of incentive to get different people to do it, we thought if we use some of the money or the profit we generate from box to create a small incentive for people to take part in selling sessions as a reward or a prize for those who was somehow voted the best, which we always have to do.
I'm also well aware that the bot sound system is down at the moment, and JCR team kind of considering how we can fix that. We're considering kind of running something similar to Fresh Speaking Cocktails and Mocktails to raise some money, and then we'd obviously look into rental options, buying options, and see what's best. I know lots of research has been done on Rob and Jen already, so I think we'll kind of carry on with that and see what's best. So that's probably our first aim out of kind of being
Alright guys, this is Nikki and I'm Nick. We're Natskis, but we're bio-Natskis, so we haven't quite been crushed by the labs yet. So we've been good at eggs, we think, just because, we like having fun basically. Thing is, it's easy to say stuff on like manifestos, we'll do this, and we have got some ideas which Nicky will say, but the key thing is that we will actually get stuff done. I didn't mean it that way. But yeah, we're going to emphasise the fact that we have qualities that means that things will get done. We're trying to get a broad calendar of stuff throughout the term rather than just like a bop each term, maybe a quiz night or whatever, stuff like that. So I'll hand over to Nicky.
Right, so we understand there's a baseline of things that we need to do for Ents. We need the box, we need the selling sessions, we need the tickle the bishop, all that sort of stuff, we need that. And we're going to do that and we're going to improve it. But we want to throw some new ideas into the mix here. And I think what Nick was trying to say is that we kind of want to, we feel that this, when you're electing people, you're electing to people because you want them, not because of their ideas, as they're on the manifesto alone. Having said that, some of the ideas we want to implement are, instead of film nights in the JCR, we'd like to make the Diamond a better use of space. We'd like to have projectors in there, huge screens, a lot of people. One of the novel ideas we had was, when it comes to May Week, it's always a bit of a struggle to work out who's going to which May balls when. We'd like to organise an online system whereby you can work out which of your friends are going to which balls and make a better decision on which ones you'd like to go to. We would also like to throw other novel ideas into the mix that we'd like to do in summer. Some of you may know we do punt races with some of the Natskis. We'd like to expand this. We'd also like to do karaoke and have an Ents subcommittee to ensure that there's enough people to help run the events. The final thing is regarding this equipment. We'd like to propose a suggestion to potentially share equipment with other JCRs, potentially with other colleges. This idea is very new and would need to be discussed with several people. However, it may be a way to get around the funding issues.
That's your time.
Okay.
I'll come and use this.
I think you just want to wrap up.
Just would like to
We
say.
stand for peace. We are prepared. We are efficient. We are active. We are creative. And we are excited.
On this thing about sharing with JCRs, this is something that's come up at a committee meeting recently. What do you think about sharing with our MCR? I think that's a fantastic idea. I don't know why it hasn't been done before. The more equipment you share, the better. I mean, it's very rare that we'd have a bot that is on the same night as someone else's bot, because they happen maybe 2-3 times a term, if that. So, I mean, there's no reason why we can't share equipment, really. Just half the cost of it.
Yeah, I agree. But if there's a reason we haven't done already, if there's a reason you've discussed in your meetings why we aren't doing this. But that sounds like we've never had bots at the same night as the NCR. And yeah, we do the diamond anyway, so it's not like we could have it down here. So unless there is reasons why we're not doing it already, then it'll be something that would be easily enforced, I guess.
So with bots, they are very enjoyable, but they always end very early. And people then go out to clubs because it's like a very awkward time that it ends. People stay and don't get to clubs, as was a bit of an issue with Freshers Week this year. I mean, like, how's that funny? So I mean, I think it has been chat. Not sure, not enough. But like, we do have a bot down here. Like set up in here, noise control. That way, people aren't going to complain too much because we are quite all underground. People above us, so they can just either beat the bot, fuck off. Is it possible to have, a longer bot, which we can all spend, have a long night down here?
I think one of the main reasons we can't have bots that go on particularly late is I know there's some kind of fellas and things that complain that they're living in crypts because of noise, which is kind of fair enough.
Yeah.
I suppose the silent disco is one way of kind of counteracting that issue. I'm not sure if there is other issues in play, but that's something we're considering. And I suppose we could do that once a year, maybe once a term, depending on how successful it is. We haven't really looked into doing bot down here. I suppose there is also residents that might be studying stuff in Ents, so we do need to, we can't just stick on them, we need to look into other needs, but it's worth looking into seeing when an appropriate time might be made at the beginning of term before term starts.
It's like we saw in cocktails and mocktails, we can efficiently use the space by just removing things inside or just in a lot of space. So like you say, you have to finish every night when it makes it to clubs. There can be people who come down here and there are people who can go to the clubs if they go early. There should, by the time I think the bot, there probably won't be as many people at the start as you normally see. So this room should be sizable enough to house everybody. And then the alcohol that is left over can easily just be moved here. Well, like you say, we've got a subcommittee, so that'd be easy just to use them, just to bring it down, have a few just down to make sure everyone's good at the time, move it down, and then just continue as before.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I guess in theory, if the JCR stuff didn't work out, which, it definitely could. It's basically a lot of life any minute. But, I think we could maybe, if we finish at 10, and in reality, apart from Freshers Week, we probably don't go up until 11, 11:30 or whatever. We can maybe even make use of spoons, because it's cheap, you get it's in pounds, so it's like a 2-minute walk from all the clubs. This is just like me off the top of my head. It could work.
I think, just to follow up slightly, I think that there's going to be just as much of a problem using the JCR with loud amplified music, mainly because those windows are a problem. However, I think that with enough warning about the presence of the bops, and by doing them, as Laura suggested, at times before work starts, I think we can make longer bops. I think the idea of silent disco is a great one, but I don't think it's a thing that we could do for the majority of bops, mainly due to the price. But that would be also something that would be interesting.
Alright, I'll take 2 more questions. The first 2 I had for Will and Hannah, so we'll go with Will.
What's your opinion on drinks prices? So would you be trying to make lots and lots of revenue for the JCR, or would you try to make it really affordable for everyone in college, or would you have a way of doing both, like keeping drink prices low but still making a large profit at your pops to be spent on other things in the JCR?
Well, I think this comes down to the equipment. I mean, we need the new equipment to run the box. Now, if we can get a deal with the MCR or with other JCRs, then obviously we can reduce the prices for everyone else. You know, we don't need to make such a profit. We can just make box really affordable, really cheap places to go, and make very little profit to ourselves. If we do need to get new equipment, we need to get new equipment or else box won't happen. So there is an extent, a bit of compromise there, where, you know, it depends on how we can fundraise in other ways to how much we will actually make from the box. But obviously we try to keep it as low as possible.
I reckon drinks are the key. Like, you're not going to be sober, I don't think. So, like, I would prefer to charge more for entry and then less for drinks if we have to, personally.
Oh, I work at the bar, so I can speak to Alex and discuss kind of our cheapest options. I think I worked behind the bar at the box in Fresh Suite, and I think what worked best for us in terms of money and kind of efficiency was doing very simple drinks, just kind of a shot and a mixer, or just a very cheap beer or something. So I think that's something we're considering. We don't want to make the prices ridiculous. We're not just here to make money, we're here to kind of create enjoyable events that people aren't going to be ripped off at. So I think it's just finding a balance and discussing with the bar when we have to sort out and offer the most efficient and best option.
Yeah, so try and make the alcohol as cheap as possible. So we make the brewers no profit on the alcohol, and just make some profit on the entry, like to make £2 entry, and then just sell the alcohol really, really cheap.
Okay, last one from Helen.
Well, Bunce and I work behind the bar, and we've seen quite a lot of MCR dinners and bops happening, and they all seem to have like a great time with fantastic themes, and Sam Gregson always gets naked. So I mean, what's your opinion on the frequency of bops and whether we should do some sort of JCR, MCR dinners type thing, and kind of take that idea into the JCR?
I think it's definitely worth talking to the MCR and seeing if we're willing to kind of mix with us. Like we said earlier, there's the issue of doing too many bops and not some paints, and people just wanting to get work done. So I don't think we should do them too much, but kind of lose monopoly. I know someone talking about one college where the Ents are organising a bop every week and no one goes to. So I think it's worth kind of keeping them reasonably rare, so it's kind of a bit exciting.
JCR dinners are the MCR dinners you see them more huge, it's almost like it's not like a swap, we all get dressed up and we always have a lot in the preparation for getting dressed up, and that'd be something we could definitely look into. We spoke about this before, and the kind of issue is how would you negotiate, because obviously the JCR is a lot bigger than the MCR, I can't have just one big formal, and so that might be a little bit of complication with the numbers you do go to which one.
We would want to keep it into as well, so it's hard to kind of find a decent split of people. It would be kind of like business formal kind of.
But what even then about the frequency of bops? Because there seem to be like 3 or 4 3 times or something, and we have one freshers, one.
But if you look at the MCR box, they are a bit more quiet. I think keeping the novelty up is important. So I'd say I think we have 2 at a time, 1 time at the moment. I think as long as 2.
MCR box, 1 a month, so it's 2 a term, it's the same frequency.
Yeah. Right, can we have some business?
JCR dinners are a great way to follow up on Danny's point of making sure the box lasts an appropriate amount of time and that people get to clubs. Dinner's a great way, as we know from BCD, great way to get everyone drunk to begin with and starting the bop early, because obviously the earlier you start, the earlier people are ready to go off to a club. And that way I think we can integrate all of those points. Obviously dinners are fun as well, so you know, it's not just there to get drunk, but you know, I think it would be a very good thing to do.
You do have to think about the cost though, because it could turn a fairly cheap night into, you know, maybe 20 quid or something like that. So, you know, we'll have to think about that. But
Okay, I'm going to have to close it there, but thanks guys.